Hey guys, welcome to a very special watch along here on the Campbell Network for Greatest Showman. It's basically it's basically hyping up as you probably know, we are re-airing the Suddenly Soundtrack's Greatest Showman with Bree and Chandler, John Roca, Ali and Dan, Taylor Robinson, Evan, and PJ, as you guys all both know. So I'm here with two guests. This is just me today with two lovely ladies. Vanessa from Late to the Party. How you doing, Vanessa? And
Hello.
what are your
Hello
thoughts
there.
on what are your thoughts on Greatest Showman?
I really enjoyed this movie. I love the music. Just kind of imagining the music in my head. I'm just going through the musical beats, and it just gets fun every single time I watch it. Like, it's never a dull moment. So I'm excited for this.
110%. This musical, just the music itself is phenomenal. The movie, we'll get into that. But Rachel, what are your thoughts on Greatest Showman?
So I'm super emotional by nature, and I remember going to see this at my favorite movie theater in DC. It's in Chinatown, and it's great. And there's like a really great vegan place right across the street. But I remember going in by myself and seeing it, and then coming out and just like mascara and makeup everywhere. I love this movie. I hate I hate that it's based on a guy who is a literal real life POS. And it literally just it puts him in such a great light, because who wouldn't want? I mean, have you guys seen the HBO movie about about New York and like the school that Hugh Jackman runs with oh my God, it's based on a true story. Guys, I can't remember what it is. I'll find out what it is and let you know. But it's him. It's so good. And like this guy is a piece of shit too. And so like having Hugh Jackman play you is kind of like this beautiful silver lining.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like this rancid karma that you have. Like, I don't know why people get so lucky to have Hugh Jackman play them when they are literally like the worst human beings.
I know that's like the one gripe I do have is like, I wish that they would just, have just someone random. Like make up a different new character.
Like or just show him for who he really was. Like you can go dark with musicals. It's not you don't have to be afraid of it. But I know that they were, they went for a Christmas release, and it was touted as like a family movie. Bad Education, yes. Thanks, Mike K.
Bad Education, yes.
So good. Highly recommend. Alex Marzoni and I watched it, and like our jaws were just like in our laps. It is so good. And then the end comes, and then they have like that like postscript, and you're just like, wait, what? Not gonna spoil it. It's so good.
I want to see that now. Yeah.
But they could have gone super dark, and they could have gone super realistic, and they chose not to for the money, and I totally get it. And so the story that they are telling in the movie is stunning and beautiful and wonderful. I also happen to have a friend of mine's boyfriend is in the movie. He's in a ton of stuff. He was in like So You Can Dance, and like every time I watch the numbers, I'm always like, oh, there he is. There's Alex. There's Alex. There's Alex. Like, it's really fun. But I mean, I cry so hard when I watch this movie. So people can watch me cry, guys.
That's okay. I'll cry with you.
There's a lot to discuss here, guys. So we're gonna press play. We're all at the 000 mark. All right. I'm watching on Amazon Prime. I think you guys are watching on your digital copies, I assume.
Yes.
Cool, I mean, I literally know it by heart at this point. So.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So we're going to be pressing play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. All right. Here we go. 20th Century Fox logo. May it rest in peace.
I mean, when are we getting this on the Disney Plus network?
I was looking for it on Disney Plus, but it's only on Prime right now.
For now.
This opening number, though, was shot and edited so well.
Yeah, it is.
Except, yeah. The only problem, go for it.
Oh, no, you can definitely tell that, like, the people, every person who had a hand in making this has had their foot on the boards on Broadway. Like, somewhere involved. They have worked in theater. Everybody knows exactly how to tell this story in a massively theatrical way without it being, like, too big and too gaudy. And I love that. The sets are so stunning.
Yeah. The costumes too.
Oh,
The costumes are so good. I want his jacket.
Yeah.
It kind of just sucks that this song is like split in like half in the film. Like it's only one half of it until the ending. So
I mean, it makes sense.
But it makes sense. Yeah,
it makes complete sense. You just don't get the full song.
But like it does start you off on like such a great note. Like all you hear is boom, 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 and like you're just like your heart just syncopates to it, and it's so great.
And the elephants are like, and they're in sync with the trumpets. It's great.
So good.
The problem though I have with the movie itself is just that like it's a bunch of great music video kind of like songs, but it's strung together with such a vanilla story that they could have just gone so much deeper with it, if that makes sense.
I think that it was asking so much of the American viewing public to embrace another like large scale musical that they had to go as neutral as humanly possible. Like, they wanted to get everybody into the theater for this.
They did
multiple times. And they did. So they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Succeeded.
Yeah, because I watched it then, and then I watched it when it came back for the sing-along like twice, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was on tour with American in Paris when it came out, and we saw it about 5 or 6 times, like with different people. Like when you go and see movies with musical theater people, especially musicals with musical theater people, it is a very different experience. One I highly recommend.
You should. Yeah.
But yeah.
The also thing is that like I just feel like this would translate so well to the stage because they could totally like make 2 acts out of it, and especially the childhood flashback.
Yeah, right. I actually had a friend of mine who was up for young P.T. Barnum, and then I heard he didn't get it, and I was so bummed for him. Like, I mean, he still has like a great career like behind him and ahead of him. Like, this kid is so talented. Good. Yeah, he was in. Why is my mind? This is what happens when you're on a break from everything and not being quizzed. You just forget every name, every show title. Like,
totally.
My brain is working.
But yeah. This is the whole flashback childhood sequence that I think should have gone on a little bit longer than it does in the film. I just feel like this all feels a little, if that makes sense.
I mean, you get the points. Like,
you do. You get the beats.
Notes that it needs to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No pun intended. I make jokes that only I laugh at usually.
Right.
Yeah. This whole sequence is it's one of my favorite portions of the movie too. I just wish it stayed on longer.
Yeah. Like in theaters longer?
No. This whole flashback sequence.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like, because you think it was too short?
Yeah, I feel like I just feel like something's missing from it. I don't know, but it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's rushed, I guess.
Maybe
I can see that, but I also like the like it hits different points that
it's very well paced
used later.
Yeah,
that you can like fall back on for later, and
especially the song that's coming up. So
right.
Can you guys give a timestamp when it hits like 7 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's at 4:40 right now, so you have 3 minutes.
Gotcha.
Cool. But yeah, the cinematography is awesome. Well, Vanessa, what would you while we're in a bit of a lull here before the next song? What would you give the opening number?
Like rating wise?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I think that it's a good like starting point. I think I would probably give it like a 6 or a 7.
Okay, so around
I do enjoy it because it comes back later too. And so it's like full circle.
It does. Rachel?
It's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It really does show you how to start a movie off, like, or how to set the tone for a show, or just a feeling. Like, you get like just knowing that you can feel the passion of P.T. Barnum. You understand the love and support and the camaraderie of the people in the circus. You understand like that this is something positive.
Yeah.
Supposed to be positive.
Right.
But it's one of my favorites, and I love that it does like circle back because you know the movie starts where it ends, or it ends when it's where it starts, and the whole movie is a flashback. I mean, there's not any. I don't think there's any song in this movie that I'm like, yeah, I could live without that one.
Yeah.
I'm actually completely in agreement to that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like this whole soundtrack is fire.
Yeah, I would stick with my rating of Rock and Feather because the thing is for the open number needs to gain the momentum. This song in particular, I think even outshines the opening. I just like,
it's like a perfect transition too.
Yeah, and it just a lot of these songs are written for radio, if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't actually feel like the actual style of the music fits the actual period piece. I feel like, but that's just, I think that's how it's designed.
I think I agree.
Yeah, it's completely like, this is lie in bed. Yeah. A Million Dreams is phenomenal.
Yeah. I think the kid has too much hope in his eyes, though.
He does, but the kid has a great voice, and you don't get that enough.
I know.
Well, yes. I mean,
so sad,
you go down to Broadway, and it's like a dime a dozen. Like kids are singing on the corner, like it's the Great Depression again. Sorry for that reference.
Totally.
But yeah. Where are we at right now, guys? I think I lost you.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Pause it at 9 minutes. Rachel, sorry about that. I completely forgot about the 7-minute mark. That's great. I'm a good friend. Sorry about that.
I know. I think I'm off too, which is kind of funny, but that's okay. I know this movie too.
No, it's okay. I just pause at the 9-minute mark and I'll give it to you. I'll give you a 10 count. Cool.
Okay.
So apologies.
Because I'm at almost 8 minutes.
All right. Cool. I just passed 8 minutes too. So.
Okay.
We're all cool. I think we're all on the same page about where we are. The good thing about this movie is that you don't really need to be in sync as long as because every song is essentially like strung together by these scenes, and it's a good rhythm to it.
Yeah. There's not a lot of lag time in this movie, which is impressive considering it is an hour and 45-minute long musical.
Right, and it doesn't feel that long too, because you're so engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
I am going to hit the 9-minute mark in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom.
Look at that de-aging.
And Vanessa, I think we're like about 30 seconds apart or something, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Does it upset anybody else?
I paused at 9 minutes now.
Okay. So we're all about a couple seconds apart, right?
Can I just bring up the fact of how angry I was at the fact that they, beautifully de-aged Hugh Jackman, even though he doesn't really need it, but then they didn't have to with Michelle. Like, that is Jen Lindley, right on screen. That is Jen Lindley.
Yeah.
She hasn't aged in 2 decades. It's not okay.
Yeah.
Also, Hugh Jackman's voice is great. I don't know if they is he naturally that good at singing, or is it okay?
So Hugh actually got his start as a stage actor and singer. He was in. You can actually find these online. He was in Oklahoma. He played Gaston in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, he did.
He has a huge musical background, and that's actually how he got found in Australia. He was doing all these amazing renditions, and I think he ended up going on tour for Australia. He's amazing. So talented, which is why I was so excited when I found out he was going to be in Les Mis, and then I got real sad.
Yeah.
Michael K has an interesting question. Have you guys listened to the cover album that was basically disc 2 of the special edition? I'll go with you, Rachel. Have you listened to it? What were your thoughts on it?
Of course. Give me a musical album and I will listen to it. You give me a tribute album, I will listen to it. I mean, it was beautifully done. I loved every one of them.
It's really hard to find once you hear the original version of something, it's hard to see if something else is better. I wouldn't say any of those versions are better, but they were, especially the This Is Me version where it was Kayla Settle and Pink, I think, who did the duet. That was
First of all, that song.
Yeah.
Secondly, that duo.
Yeah. Have you listened to that album, the tribute album, Vanessa?
I have.
Okay.
Yes, I remember when it came. It was like I downloaded it,
Mhm.
and I like for 2 weeks straight, I was just listening to that and the original soundtrack, like all day.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
One of my favorite things about this movie was the dance number that just happened on the roof of their apartment.
Yeah.
That dance number is so beautiful and so well choreographed. The dancers that they found to replace Hugh and Michelle are exquisite and so perfectly matched to those body types.
Right.
It literally, I'm just like, just play, like, just show me more. Just give me an entire like dance and like just make this into like a ballet-esque number with them, and I'm in it 3 hours.
Right.
Great. Here's all of my money.
That's
Right,
beautiful.
exactly.
Yeah. A Million Dreams. What would you have rated it, Rachel?
I think this is my like least favorite of the songs, but like that's not saying a lot because it's like everything else and then Million Dreams. Like,
Of course.
but it's all like at the very top.
Like they're
So
all
it's
like there.
yeah,
It's
it's like
just-
if I had to get rid of one,
Yeah.
this is the one.
It's still phenomenal. You Vanessa?
I'm kind of on par with what Rachel said. I mean, I do like the song a lot, but there are other songs that I probably put more on repeat than that song.
I would say, like, in terms of the soundtrack, I would say it's Reprise is probably we're about to get. It's basically the same thing, but it's like I think it's separated too. So,
Right.
it's still beautiful. Yeah.
Well,
I'm surprised.
any daddy daughter number, just instantly, I'm just like,
Yeah.
just awash in tears.
So,
Niagara Falls.
so if I understand correctly, Hugh Jackman did not do his own dancing.
Not for that rooftop number. No, that was highly professional.
Oh, okay.
He is an incredibly talented dancer, and he does like the bar number that he does with Zac Efron. That's both of them. Oh, hi, Kristen. Hello.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
Kristen.
Kristen. I think we're at about 13:30.
Yeah. Kristen, if you pause it at 15 minutes, I'll give you a 10 count. All right. Because I don't know how far behind she is or not on the stream.
But no, he is an incredibly talented dancer, and no, I mean, I will watch Hugh Jackman do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Wolverine Origins, so obviously I'll watch it.
Oh, that's a different movie entirely.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's so versatile.
He's so versatile, and I think I'll go for it.
I really want to see him sink his teeth into like a really terrible, like really bad guy that like not like, you know, Bad Education or this, like a really bad guy, like how John Travolta got to sink his teeth into like was it a Broken Arrow and like you know,
so
like
good. Yeah.
or Face Off. Like it's just so much fun to watch them like play characters that are just completely outside of who they really are.
Yeah. Hey, I think the closest he got was Gaston.
Yeah, but like that was still on stage.
Yeah, that's still on stage.
Like it wasn't like
that's true,
and that was like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was it was okay.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
So cool.
Damn, this is
I love how magical
this is just magical. There's not really much to discuss with this until they start singing again. It's great though. That's it's just a beautiful little scene.
There's just such a loving family. Like
yeah,
it is.
Like so supportive of each other.
Like he loves those kids so much, and being a daddy's girl, I get it. And also, like, how magical is that to have like be amongst these, you know, fresh washed sheets up in like on the rooftop and like having this, you know, light show go on. It's just your family is very sweet and wholesome and lovely.
You're behind Kristen. Kristen, I'm gonna just then give you the 18-minute mark. She said that she's against 13:30 behind.
Maybe she hasn't started yet.
Okay. Kristen, in 2 minutes, I'm gonna give you a 10 count for 18 minutes. Just pause there. It's all good.
These little girls are adorable.
They are.
Oh, they are very adorable.
Although every time I see young girls playing sisters getting along, I'm like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
I'm like, that's not right. I don't care how dire your circumstances
doesn't
are, and you have to like band together as a family. Like, that's not sisters.
Right?
Cool. And Sam Humphrey's a really good actor. The guy who plays Tiny Tim.
Oh,
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, he's so good. And I'm just we're gonna get to This Is Me, but I'm kind of bummed that on the soundtrack his verse kind of gets overdubbed with because I don't think on the soundtrack it's a duet.
It's been a long time since I've listened to it. Actually, my nephew, who is about, I think he just turned 4. When this movie came out, he like made his parents and me take him to go see it. He made his parents go take him, and then like I would watch him and babysit him, and he would be like, he'd literally walk up to me with the Blu-ray and be like, "Showman?" I'm like,
"Oh, Showman."
Sure. Like it was the album that was played in the car all the time. Like he knew the bar song. Like a 3-year-old was sitting in the back of my friend's car, like knew every word to the bar song. I'm like, you are my nephew.
That's beautiful.
Oh, I do love that scene too.
Before Kristen, 10 count for 18 is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 18 minutes. Hopefully she's on sync now. I'll continue, Rachel. Sorry if I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. I just love the look on Michelle Williams' face when he shows her like the Museum of Oddities that he just spent that he like mortgaged their entire lives for, committed massive amounts of fraud in order to secure money, and she's just like,
and this is what you came up with?
You're an idiot. Yeah. Like it's almost that look of, please tell me you were drunk when this happened, because if you did this like clear thinking, I might have to actually just kill you to like protect my children.
110%. And I love how it's kind of like the precursor to Ripley's Believe It or Not, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although who doesn't want a giant stuffed giraffe just hanging out? I mean, I would prefer mine to not be real, but yeah. But I do love like
your kids as bait.
What?
I said he's using his kids as bait to come to the museum.
That's why you have kids, right? To pedal them out to make sure you get money.
That's true. Yeah.
Cara says she watched this movie a lot when Cara was just born.
Aww. Yeah. Well, the music is soothing to kids.
She always calmed down when she listened to the soundtrack. Okay.
Yeah. Like Robert's daughter, she loves it too. She wanted to go see the sing along. She's like, "Is it happening? Can we go?"
Yeah.
I was reading something like about that, the lullaby version of this. Like they made a lullaby arrangement of the soundtrack on Spotify that like hit like crazy numbers or something.
Although I'm gonna find that channel because I'm gonna need to fall asleep to that tonight.
Right?
Sad.
Yeah, it's a lullaby arrangements of the songs or something.
I love that. He commits so much fraud.
He does. I forget, is this the other side that's coming up, or is it or the what's the other song called? It's either one of the two that's coming up. It's also weird that Zac Efron's character isn't named Bailey. I guess it's just it was rights issues.
Yeah. I was really upset about. I mean, to be fair, there was a massive, if I remember correctly, because I did a report on Barnum and Bailey in like 3rd grade, which was centuries ago, and I think that there was a massive falling out between Barnum and Bailey, and neither of them wanted anything to do with the other person. So when they decided to make this movie, PT was the one who said yes first, like PT's estate. And so Bailey's estate was like, you can go fuck yourselves.
I think they made a mistake.
Yeah. Well, I know, because everybody knows that this is like Barnum and Bailey. Like, but it's like, you can't think Barnum without thinking Bailey. You just don't.
They just can't profit off of it, sadly.
Well, to be fair, they closed down, so.
True. But wouldn't the estate, if Bailey accepted, probably taking some of the revenue?
Oh, yeah. But I mean, this is like hate runs deep.
Oh yeah.
I love how everything just like, even from like the far shot of the cottage that he just walked up to, like it's very much like, it very much looks like a play backdrop.
Yeah.
Like everything is so beautifully staged.
It is, and I like how this is like this all gets like re-renovated, and then the finale takes place here, and they're all like celebrating. So, I think this is the house that happens in.
Wait, what?
I don't think so.
No.
At the end with or maybe I'm just thinking of it wrong. Just
I don't know what end you're talking about.
Like if they're
from now on.
like they come,
from now on,
I think they go to the bar.
That's the bar.
Oh, that's the
and
bar.
they're celebrating at the bar.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. For whatever reason, I thought it was inside this house.
I mean, it is a nice large room, but no,
No.
It's at the bar, but not at the same bar that they do the bar song.
Yeah. And this is where, wow.
This is where you see Barnum as like this smooth talking, you know, you can like convince her, like he's very convincing. He's all, I mean, I would say con man, but
he's very manipulative.
Not really conning them at that point.
Yeah. He isn't really. He's just
showing them, you know.
Yeah. He has a vision in his head that he wants them to be a part of. It's not realized yet, but it's it's a future truth.
Now it's starting to pick up.
It is. And this is apparently like, this isn't accurate to what actually happened, right? He was a dirtbag, correct?
Oh, he was a huge dirtbag, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So,
Not
and
a nice person,
Kayla Settle, phenomenal actress.
Oh, I love her so much. She's just,
here she comes.
Girl, she's so wonderful and beautiful. I don't even, she's just, I want to hug her and have her sing to me.
I hope that
I know, like
has she gotten roles after this?
She was on Broadway.
Okay,
she
cool.
was in Waitress. She's been in, I know that was the last big one she did before this movie, I think. I think she like went straight from Waitress to this. But she is doing so many things. I think she ended up on like a massive guest star spot on like the Disney cruise, because they do like not only do they do Disney cruise, or did they do Disney cruises, but they did like a very special like Disney Broadway cruise. I think she was a part of that.
And wasn't she in like the Rent Live thing, I think?
Yes. I don't know. I don't watch the live one.
Oh yeah.
The tattooed man. So hot.
It just sucks that like we don't get a lot of movie musicals. This is like one of those rare occasions where we get it.
And this year was supposed to be so big.
Yeah.
I know.
6 more months. It's okay. They better not push. They better not push West Side Story back.
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm speaking of Hugh Jackman. I'm wondering what's going to happen with The Music Man, since it was supposed to debut on Broadway, and it's just.
I mean, I'm
pushed like everything else.
Yeah.
Dog boy.
Damn. And a lot of these backing vocalists who do like all the stuff have a lot of really good talent behind them.
Oh yeah. Well, the dancers you'll see are all like Broadway kids. Like they've all been in like, you know, Newsies or Aladdin, or a few of them I think were in Bonnie and Clyde, and I mean, this is very industry rich. This is one of the most densely populated or densely cast crews from Broadway.
Yeah, because like I think like the guy who plays like the fattest man on earth or whatever is also huge on Broadway as well. And then here we come Alive.
Yeah.
And it just goes right into probably, is this like the second biggest hit, I would guess, off the record?
I would think so.
Yeah. Because I remember hearing this all the time.
Like the music of the background with the train too.
Yeah, the it syncopates so beautifully together. Like the sound editing and the visual, like the editing in this is just
phenomenal.
So like hand in hand, beautifully done.
I would say the only problem I have with the editing is that like when everybody's like singing like their solos in this, it always cuts to a close up of Hugh Jackman. You'll notice, and I just feel like maybe the close ups of Hugh Jackman are a little too much, but I love it. Yeah, I love this song. I love it
too.
Yeah.
When he puts on his coat.
I love the kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
they really... This is such a heartwarming song.
This show is just oh, sorry. That tattooed man just makes me so happy too.
Yeah.
I want all of her dresses.
Yeah.
Like I think I tweeted her after like the third time I saw it, and I was like, Kayla, can I have your dresses?
Give me your dress.
Did she respond?
I'll be in New York. We can get them signed. I just want them. I think she liked it.
Damn.
She's so cute. The little girl that peeks around her mom to look at. Oh. Because fucking children are pure for the most part. Oh, she raised them.
I love the choreography here. And then Zendaya.
Zendaya is amazing. Yeah, I think the people who put the camera work together for the dance numbers have never worked with choreographers before.
Yeah.
Like they cut away when like I was a dancer growing up, and like I've worked with dancers and choreography and stage shows, and like there are certain things that as a viewer you want to see. Okay, where's my friend Alex?
Kristen says the tattooed man is the main choreographer for the movie.
Yes. Yeah, and I told Alex that
wonderful.
Because I texted him after the first time I saw this, and I was like, Alex, you are amazing. I'm so proud of you. And the tattooed man is beautiful. He goes, yeah, I can introduce you next time you're in New York. And I'm like, don't do that.
Has he already appeared on screen?
I'm just looking. I think he was in that group, but I couldn't see him.
Oh, okay.
These people make me so upset.
Yeah.
Especially along with the things that are going on today that literally happen. I can't deal with it.
It's still happening, and people just haven't grown out of it.
Oh, there he is. He was the guy holding Kayla.
Oh,
okay. My friend Alex.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I met him when he was he opened Newsies on Broadway. And my first day working there, him and Ryan Steele, who was the dance captain for that show, who is one of the most stunningly attractive and beautiful human beings inside and out. He's an angel on earth. I love Ryan Steele. But the two of them were stretching on a staircase like right next to me, and I was just like, "You're so wonderful and beautiful, and so nice." And
Malcolm says hello there.
Hi, sweet pea.
Hello.
Oh. This is such a catchy song.
And then the girls dancing too.
Yeah.
I just love that in the movie theater you would watch this and everybody was just like
it's a bop. It's a bop.
But like everybody was like visibly dancing and like clapping along or snapping or something. Like everybody was in this like together. It was such a beautiful. I love that the girls are doing the choreo. Just
I know.
Yeah. Rachel, what do you think of the song "Come Alive"? And what would you give it?
It's all right.
Okay.
It doesn't make me well up with like emotion. It's fine. Yeah,
it's a fun pop.
It's like a 9.5.
Yeah. So, Vanessa?
It's good. I do like it. Like when I just want like something, upbeat and I want to dance to it, like I'll put that song on. But it's not like my favorite song.
I would say that it could be in any musical. That's the thing. I don't think
yes.
Yeah. It's very generic in that sense, although it's catchy as hell.
What musicals would you put it in?
Come Alive, maybe Come Alive.
The Lion King.
Lion King, you just need to figure out the context for it. I
feel like you could do it at the end.
You could.
Like
Yeah.
When everyone is all happy because Pride Rock is like back and Simba came back and they're coming alive.
There could be a good finale.
Definitely merge that. I think it would need to be further into the show, like previously in the show, and then come back and do like a merger with that and Circle of Life. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to end with Circle of Life, because it is the circle, and it comes back. All right. It's in the title.
I was thinking Kinky Boots.
Oh yeah.
It has a very, very Kinky Boots kind of vibe to it. If that makes sense.
It's got that like uplifting and like motivational, like
just be who you wanna be. Yeah. You could definitely do that.
First.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting. I think that there could be a version of this done for Beauty and the Beast. I think it could also be done with there was another one that I was thinking of, but I do really love the idea of like making this into a like give it like an African twist for The Lion King. I'm really digging it.
I would love to see that too.
That would be great.
That would be fun to see, like, to get like casts from the Broadway shows that have been closed down to like come together and cover other Broadway shows.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That are completely different styles. I think that would be
like, and just make it a monthly cabaret and rotate the songs. That would be phenomenal.
So great. You could do a bi-weekly, so it'd be like the month of March could have been I don't know, SpongeBob SquarePants does Cats.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later Cats does SpongeBob SquarePants, and then April could have been like Beetlejuice does Phantom of the Opera, and they switch back and forth. Like it would be I think that would be so much fun.
And it would just be like a live show.
A lot of fun.
It would be great.
Yeah.
I would love to see, the cast of Beetlejuice do Phantom of the Opera.
Actually, that would be phenomenal.
I mean, I just want to see Alex do anything because that man is so talented and wonderful. Oh, this makes me so sad. No, don't. No, she's too young to go up on her box. Stop.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from being on American in Paris that like this scene, I was like, no. Your bones aren't solidified enough for you to go on point. Sorry, I was yelling at a child again.
Oh. And then we are introduced to Zac Efron's character, who is not Bailey, and his very racist parents in this film. Like, yeah,
it's the time.
I hate to
say it, but
yeah,
it's true.
How did Troy become that?
Yeah,
like.
I know,
like,
right?
That's not a glow up. That like someone sold their soul at a crossroads. I think he's got like a year left before some hell demon or before some hellhounds come after him. I know, Vanessa, you get that reference.
Oh, I get it.
But yeah.
Oh. She's so cute.
This is like only his like second musical after Hairspray too. Besides High School Musical, I mean. So, and Zach doesn't do that many musicals.
Oh, that's right. He did do Hairspray.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did because he's Link
Larkin.
Like I was not a fan of his until he did Hairspray, and then when he does that wink, I'm like, oh my. You're a grown up. I don't feel bad about this. Okay.
Right? Where does the wink come from?
What?
Wait, what'd you say?
So where did the wink come from? That's what I'm saying. Like, where have you been my whole life?
I was like, because like when he was in High School Musical, I was like, yeah, he's a cute kid. But he's like, 18, and even though that's legal, that's still really gross in my eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, unless I can take you out for a legal drink, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Yeah. And then he was in that, and I was just like, oh. Wow, look who grew up. You're pretty.
I know, because I still think of him as the kid from that Summerland show.
Oh my
god.
Movie, or that show. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh.
Some of those High School Musical songs are bops though.
I refuse to watch them.
Okay.
Because I was touring with punk bands and did not have the time, nor did I want them to catch me watching them while I was on tour. Because it was usually just me and like 5 to 10 other dudes, and I was like, I don't need that. Like we got like 6 weeks of tour. I don't need you guys like mocking me. It's fine.
Malcolm says a lot of Disney Channel DCOM stars have turned super hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, as weird as he is, Shia LaBeouf was a Disney Channel kid.
That's true.
So was Ben Foster, too. Everyone forgets that he was a Disney kid. But he was in Flash Forward.
He was, yeah.
That was one of my favorite shows. Oh no, it was a show on Disney Channel, but like
yeah.
And here comes the other side.
I love this song. I also love the everything about this scene. Yeah, the choreography.
The choreo.
The choreo is so good.
Tight and well done, and you could never, ever get this scene, to get this number out of anybody else who was not classically trained. I think even the bartender was like ex-Broadway. Like these people are so good at what they do. And it's just one of those things that like, you know, that like, it's like asking like a carpenter to build you something and like giving them like balsa wood and like wood glue versus giving them like, you know, redwood and cedar and like all these amazing things. So like the better the tools you give them, the better high quality thing they can give you. And that's what this scene is to me. This is the top, one of the best choreographers working with some of the best talent and getting this number.
Kristen says this is peak showman for her. So, yeah,
it's really good. I do like this.
She says this is just really, really good. And then Malcolm said that Justin Timberlake and Ryan Gosling were also Disney kids.
Yes, they were. Mickey Mouse Club. So was Carrie Russell and Christina Aguilera, obviously Britney Spears, JC Chazé.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers Justin, but nobody remembers JC. Poor kid.
Oh.
I do want that.
And it came even worse when they were in sync together too.
Oh.
I just love how this could just tell the story through the song, and it just gets the point across. This is one of
they could have just talked about it, but no, they did it in song amazingly.
Yeah, and they could have talked about it, do it in song that would be like catchy, like "Come Alive." But this one actually has to deal with the plot, which I give major props for.
I do like the remix of this.
Oh yeah, the remix is great. But when Hugh sits down at the piano and like fake plays because it's a player piano, he actually wanted to play it and would play it during the rehearsals. Nice. And then they were like, something became wrong with like one of the pianos. They're like, we'll just get a player piano in here. It's fine. It's in storage.
I'm assuming that they probably wouldn't also let him play it because let's say they pre-recorded this, right? So him playing it on stage might be out of sync to what they were doing. So he would have to be in sync too.
Oh yeah,
I would assume.
Consummate professionals and editors. You just zoom in, make sure his hands are cut off. But
it's still phenomenal.
Fucking show is so good.
Yeah. We get the point across. And originally, I wasn't too keen on this song, but it's grown on me since we recorded that episode that's going to air tomorrow. So I am going to rip it in half in the episode you're going to see tomorrow, guys. But,
oh, man.
Yeah, but this has grown on me exceptionally.
But has your even changed since then?
Originally, for me, I felt like the song itself just didn't do anything for me. It just wasn't my style. I felt like the choreography was kind of distracting. I felt like it was an overtly long song that killed the pace. It did tell the story, but it told it overtly like I wasn't too much of a fan of it. But I've since come around to it because it's super catchy.
It's also so beautiful.
Yeah, it's so.
And that cut to the
to where they're at the place.
Yeah, from like the bar into the circus.
Yeah. And
I also just stand her because she's just walking around fanning herself in a muumuu and like, girl, that's my brand.
Yeah. I've turned my around on the song though. It's damn good. And also Zendaya and Zach's chemistry throughout this entire movie is great, even though they don't get much screen time. They don't. But they're not the main focus. So.
but it's the quality of the screen time that they get. And like that whole slowdown is just so wonderfully done. And like the piano notes from the song that she sings later, it's just like this beautiful little like look back. Just one of the reasons. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And the bartender choreographed this number too. Okay, so okay. So the bartender choreographed it. Damn. I'm noticing you, Kristen. I'm sorry. She's a
I do love the bright pink, like cotton candy color hair. It just reminds me of Grease, which is one of my favorite musicals of all time. So
Grease
like just seeing that, like it's kind of like a wink to that for me. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, Grease we're doing in September during Broadway month, so that's going to be fun.
Say what now?
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Broadway month?
Yep.
Broadway.
I do think that like some of his suits are gaudy and sad in like not a good way. Because like he's so ostentatious that they should either be like super slick and high class or like so Makuga. Kristen, I love you for your random ass knowledge about this movie.
Yeah, she is random ass knowledge.
It's
Malcolm,
like
I love Grease too. Grease is amazing.
It's perfect because Kristen in the chat can just do it and it'll be like bubbles like they do on VH1. So every time you pop it up.
Pop up video.
Yeah, exactly.
Pop up video, yeah.
For anybody under 30, that was a show on VH1. That was another station like MTV that used to show music videos. That used to be a thing, and they would pop up random facts on it.
Now it's just a bunch of reality TV.
Well,
but
now it's all ridiculousness.
Because back when I was watching VH1, they used to do like I love the 80s and I love the 90s. Yeah. Those were my bops, but then
they were good.
Do you remember the behind the musics?
I actually I went on YouTube and just binged that like one summer, and I was just like, these are so well done. The reason they can't release them is because of all the music copyrights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I was just recently watching the one about the one where the Big Bopper, Buddy Holly, and Richie Valens died, which that's a sad story.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just watch La Bamba too.
Yeah,
that's true too. But it makes me so sad because like I know where it's heading, and every time you're like, "Don't get on the plane, don't do it."
This is another movie talking, but La Bamba is phenomenal. I just wish they didn't keep the whole winter party dance tour to be the last 15 minutes of the movie.
That was kind of a rough choice.
Yeah, because that's the most interesting part. But we are introduced to
the Queen of England.
The Queen of England, who's only in this one scene. I'm trying to make commentary for something that's hard.
And she has the cutest Cocker Spaniel. Oh my God. I would steal the Queen's dog. I'm that person. I love that he calls her sweetheart. Yeah. I'm like, well, you're me. I'd walk in and be like, you're a bad bitch, aren't you? Then I'd get arrested.
If you need the time code, Malcolm, Kristen said she's at 40. Okay. Hopefully you can. It's
45 minutes, basically.
Yeah. It's 45 minutes. So if you just play at the 45-minute mark, you'll be within sync. I think all of us collectively are about 30 seconds away from each other.
Yeah.
But it is all cool. We're about to get into probably the greatest number of this year that was released. It is.
It's
I know.
My favorite. I will say it right now. It is my favorite song.
Yeah. Easy. Like I know.
It fit for me.
It's not.
No, it doesn't fit her character. Like, there's no like. I get it when most people sing, they don't have an accent. However, like. There's something off about her number. Like, I love Rebecca Ferguson. Ferguson, right?
Mm-hmm. Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah. She is stunning and wonderful. I love her in everything she's in. She is Rose the Hat, like amazing. But like, she just causes trouble, and she gives redheads a bad name. And
oh, you're talking about the character, not.
Well, no, I'm also, and like for some reason, like the song, I just don't. You're
talking about her song that sounds like Adele, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
How it doesn't like a good musical will have kind of a thorough theme to the songs.
Yeah.
And this just kind of like there's the line for the show, and then this one just kind of goes bloop. Like it's
for me, I love Adele.
I'll just be in my love corner for it then.
I mean, I'm glad you love it. I'm glad people love it, but it's just this was a miss for me.
Oh, I totally get that.
And it's just more so the song itself.
Yeah,
that I love, like just move it out of the movie, and I just like listen to it all the time. Like I totally understand where you're coming from, Rachel, because like the song just like is different from all the other songs that they play in the movie.
And especially,
it feels like it's missing a verse. Like it feels like it cuts from like a bridge.
I get that
to the chorus to the bridge to the chorus or something like. I remember when I first saw this, I just kind of was like, they cut something out. Like something doesn't feel right.
Apparently, she was dubbed for the movie too.
Of
Rebecca
course she was
Ferguson.
dubbed.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Yeah,
if she looks like that and sings like that, no, that's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody else did the singing for her.
Was it Adele? Because it does sound like Adele. Okay.
No, it was somebody else.
Okay.
Adele would do a killer cover of this song, though.
Yeah, she would.
Stop looking at her like that. You're a married man. Keep it in your pants.
It is just so. There's just so much quality to these songs.
I just love all the costumes. It's so good. Like they had to dress so many people just even for this scene where people are walking into the theater and sitting in the first few rows. Like we're talking hundreds of people that had to be dressed period specific.
Yeah.
How many of them are digital, I wonder? Probably a good handful.
Probably at the top.
They're probably like replicated up or like they just, recorded one way and then had like people move.
Okay, so Rebecca Ferguson apparently wasn't as comfortable with. She thought a more trained voice would be a better fit for someone who was supposed to be the best singer alive.
Yeah,
and this
believe it.
This is a woman that actually existed. That no record of her voice exists. So, wow.
Swedish Meadowlark.
What's the time step you guys have right now?
Right now it's at 48 minutes. 49 minutes coming in right about now. If you pause at 50, I can give you a 10 count.
I'm past 50.
Okay. It is all good, guys.
I do find it's a shitty thing to make all of his people stand in the back of the theater, but I do find it very telling that he insisted that they be there and let them into the theater, because back then it was very not done to let people of that class of the performers into a theater like this. So the fact that he insisted, like, that gets some points. Like everybody was all up in arms and be like, oh, he didn't give us seats. It's like, you're lucky you're in the building at that point in day and time.
Her singer is named Lauren Alred. Thank you, Kristen, who is apparently a finalist on The Voice. So
nice.
That makes sense. Okay. I've only watched the first season of The Voice. I didn't watch anything after that.
They should have gotten Laura Berlanti. Oh, she is royalty of the Broadway stage. It's stunning.
Are you all good with your time code, Vanessa?
I think so.
Okay.
Because I'm at 50:04.
Yeah, I'm at 50 right now.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm like ahead of you.
No,
like
it's all
barely.
cool. I'm 10 seconds ahead of you guys. Not that big of a deal.
Oh, okay. As long as we're in the same range, it's fine.
I do love that theater. God, I miss live theater.
I know.
Guys, can everybody just stay inside their houses for 2 weeks solid so we can just get this done with?
Yeah, I know. The sad thing is, live anything, even dormitories aren't going to be a thing until next year, sadly, I don't think.
Broadway got pushed back to the beginning of 2021, at least.
Yep. Can we all just agree that 2020 is just an intermission?
Does that mean I'm still 35? Because that'd be great if my birthday didn't count this year.
That'd be great too. Yeah.
That sounds great.
It'd be 35 twice.
Yeah. This is like 35.5. And then
Yeah.
it's 36 next year. Sounds great. I will say this. You have to give Rebecca Ferguson credit because she is actually singing on stage when they're taping her, because you can tell when someone actually sings because of their neck.
Yeah.
Like the way that
Yeah.
it flexes.
That's usually what they have to do, is because even when you film a music video, you have to sing along because it needs to look like you're singing.
Yeah. I mean, there are some people who are talented enough to like lip sync and still have it look like they're singing, but like
It's much easier.
Going for it.
Yeah.
Oh, tell your dad.
I love her dress too.
Who Zendaya's? Zendaya's?
No, Rebecca's.
Oh, yeah.
Kristen
Sorry.
Is that?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I just want a dress with that skirt, but like with pockets in it, just so I can, stand still and swish back and forth.
Pockets are everything.
I was in Greece a few years ago, and just walking around the city with some friends because the Beauty and the Beast international cast was there, and we were on a break and domestically, so I went out to go visit them and country hopped all over to see them. Anyway, get to Greece, walking around, see this beautiful woman in this stunning dress, and of course, you speak different languages, so I like mouthed and like pantomime. I'm like, I love your dress, and she was like, and like put her hands in her pockets, and I was like, like that is. It doesn't matter who you are. You talk to a woman, you tell her you love her dress. The first thing she's going to tell you if she has it is if it has pockets.
Yes.
Kristen is basically VH1 pop-up video right now with all of this.
She
stuff.
is.
Great.
Well, this was one of her first like starring roles too.
Yeah.
So so she's one of her first starring roles. She's playing the world's greatest singer amongst some of the actual world's greatest singers, and then performing in a dress like that in front of a crowd like this. Like, I get it.
It's very nerve-wracking.
And how does she carry off chartreuse? I don't understand. Nobody looks good in that color, but she does.
I know.
And I like how during that entire song, it's established that Zendaya and Zac Efron's characters have feelings too, and the look that his dad gives him.
No, the look.
It's so random though. He's like, "Oh, yeah. I feel them touching. I'm gonna turn around."
Yeah, he has the force or something.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, don't we all have that feeling? Like, when somebody walks into a room, when someone you love is standing close by.
Right.
Like, it is a feeling. So, I get him looking over, but, dude, the look she gives him when he lets go of her hand, I'm like, oh, she's going to cut you, and she's circus folk. She knows how to get rid of your body. Do not screw with performers. Don't do it. String me up and make it look like an accident.
We're about to get into the biggest kind of song on the film.
Okay, I'm gonna cry. Just a warning.
Yeah, I know that this was overplayed on the radio, but every time I hear this, it's just still so good. This whole sequence coming up is, and the message behind it, though. It's the message behind it,
and the earnestness that this the performers. It's
great.
It's so beautiful.
Oh boy.
This was damn.
Now we're gonna get to a really good song here too.
Yeah. Let me see this. What is it? Yeah, Chad says they don't want to age a year. Yep. I think this entire year just needs to be a mistake. Are they even gonna have the Tonys?
Oh God, probably not. I mean, voting should have already ended. I don't even know if it began.
Because it's only half a year of stuff, if that, 3 months.
I mean, the Tonys are in June. usually. So
Oh shoot, yeah.
and
Never
it's May 6th today. So
For whatever reason, I thought the Tonys were the same month as the Oscars.
oh no. Oh,
Which that's another beast.
That would be a lot of work.
Yeah, that's so much. I would break his hand. He puts his hand out to stop her, puts it on his shoulder, then tells you can't go in. No.
And when
I know.
it's funny when you watch interviews about this stuff, they knew they were making a hit when they wrote this song.
I mean, did you see the video of them singing this
in the rehearsal space?
Time? Oh my god!
In the rehearsals, yeah.
At the table. Oh, I can't even. It's just so beautiful, and it's one of those universal themes that like everybody has felt this way. Everybody has felt broken and ugly and unwanted and ridiculed, and it's just like.
And it took now to get this song written, and it's just so good.
Well, I mean, usually anything addressing those kind of feelings, it's always like a very negative like it's a very negative connotation, and like I don't want to feel this way. And this is just like this, I am bruised, like I'm who I'm meant to be. This is me. Like, it's just kind of like it's one of the first ones I feel that's like I'm broken and busted, and but so are you, and we're all who we're supposed to be, and it's a gift. Like,
this song sold the studio on the movie.
Yeah,
and I
believe it.
I love Tiny Tim's verse here.
Yeah,
it's so
beautiful.
Yeah,
the albino, she's stunning.
I love the choreography too. I love the whole Frankenstein aspect with the mob.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're just like, brushing through them. I love this part right here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Of them dancing through. Whew.
So much energy in the cuts too.
Yeah.
And did this win the Oscar for Best Song?
I don't remember. I can't even think of what would have won over this, unless it went. It didn't go up against Frozen. No,
this was 2013.
Yeah.
What?
This was 2013.
Yeah, this was like 2015.
Yeah,
2015.
No.
Okay, Frozen is 2012, so this would be 20.
Maybe 2016. I don't remember.
Her voice.
Kristen will come in with that.
Kristen, was it 15 or 16?
She said that this and the songwriters wrote it one way to the meeting. This song sold the studio on the movie.
Oh, she hasn't said anything yet.
Writers wrote it one. The songwriters wrote it on the way to the movie meeting to the studio. Wow.
Oh, that slow motion stop where everybody's jumping, she turns around, and she's just having this moment. Oh.
And that sound effect of them just
and
like
boom. Yeah.
I think it did win the Academy Award for Original Song.
Yeah. Oh no, Remember Me beat it.
Oh, I knew it was a Disney. I knew it was Disney Pixar. Like, I was like, it has to be.
I don't see how they did that though, because I mean, wow. I know it came out in 2018. Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, usually movies that come out around like December time, like it's so hard for me. I'm like, wait, did it come out in this year or this year?
I really want that Museum Curiosities with the octopus poster in the background. I really want that.
It looks banging.
It's like, dude, the artwork from back then, from like the early 20s to like the mid to late 30s, is just so beautiful. Like, it's so stunning. They didn't have, They literally hand drew everything because they had to. Like,
And
the artist's work in it is just gorgeous.
They don't make posters like that anymore.
No, they don't. They don't silk screen. They don't hand draw. It's so heartbreaking.
It was also up against Mystery of Love, which was fantastic, Kristen says.
Mystery of Love.
What is Mystery of Love from?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Love.
It sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar, but like when my mind is like focusing on one thing, it's very hard for it to like go off
Is
into
that
another.
Sing Street? I think it might be Sing Street.
Maybe?
Sing Street.
Isn't Sing Street like 16?
Maybe Sing Street was 2.
No, I need to know. Oh, it was nominated. 2018. So yeah, this movie came out in 2017.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this
This whole thing of him taking her to the theater.
Yep.
Ooh.
Very gutsy.
So this is something really sweet that I found out in St. Louis at the Fox, which is one of the most stunningly beautiful theaters in the entire US, and I've seen them all. When you walk into the Fox, the lobby floor is on an incline, and so you have to walk up, and it's symbolic of the old houses back then, like this one where you have to climb steps to get into it because you were rising above your problems and leaving them behind. And I'm like, I love that, like just that thought that got put into it of like, you know, the theater is, you know, where you come to get away from all of the everyday problems and you go and live in this fantasy world, no matter how fantastical or realistic it could, the play could be. It was something that wasn't your life and you could just ascend from it. And it was just, it's such a beautiful thing.
100%.
Zendaya teaches Zac Efron a lesson. Did we find out what it was from? Oh, for Call Me By Your Name. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was Call Me By Your Name. Okay.
Kristen coming in clutch with the knowledge.
Call Me By Your Name came out at the time it should have come out, because if it came out any later, it might have been a problem.
It also would have gotten lost.
Yeah.
Because I think that kind of started it. This is one of my favorite duets, probably of all time. Like definitely top 10 between Zac Efron and Zendaya.
Oh, of all time, of duets of ever?
Yeah, for musical movies,
Okay.
yeah.
What do you think is the best duet ever for a musical movie?
That's that's a lot to choose.
Yeah. For me, it's Suddenly Seymour. Yeah. I
mean, Suddenly Seymour is definitely. I think it's definitely top 3. I think another one in those top 3 would be Tonight from West Side Story.
West Side Story, yeah.
That is a good one.
Is Some Enchanted Evening a duet from South Pacific? I don't know.
I want to say yes. It's been a very long time since I've seen it.
Because I remember that being very, very beautiful too. But yeah, Race Around the Stars is amazing here. What is this called? And this
got so much respect for Zendaya because of this scene. Because she actually spent like 6 months training for this number with aerials in order to be able to do this and not have to like do like wide cutaway shots of the girl like in the air actually doing it. Like she didn't want a stunt double. She wanted to do it. And so she trained for it. She
looks like she is a good gymnast too. Just her body type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks very flexible, if that makes sense.
Yeah. She's very and loose, and or as the what's his face in And the replacements called him they're wiry.
It rolls down. Boom.
Michael K. Suddenly Seymour says, "Yeah, that's up there. Duets are really hard. Duets are really hard to figure out, just because there's so many great ones."
Yeah. This is one of the numbers that I wish that on some of the instances they would have just like pulled back and just let the camera sit, and just like shown how beautiful it is with them like flying all over the arena. And
again, that's part of the problem I have with the editing here is just that there's too many close-ups. They don't let things breathe, which was what I was saying earlier with Come Alive. But but that's just the editing technique of a basic blockbuster anyway. So.
Oh man, you know those like challenges where it's like try not to sing along.
Yeah,
I would totally fail if the song is on there.
Oh yeah,
you just like have to sing along to it.
You put just about any song from this show into that challenge. True. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
or just even about any song. Period.
Kristen says I have nothing to say for this song except that it's great staging and it's fantastic indeed. Oh, damn.
And this is live recorded vocals when they're standing there like breathing heavy. Like that's them actually singing live to each other.
Yeah. There's a lot of differences between the songs on the record and the songs in the film because a lot of the songs in the film are sung live. They just use the live take to get the more emotion across.
Yeah.
Even if it's not as good of a take as it is on the soundtrack, it's the emotion behind it.
And it also just keeps it like a uniform sound so that you can't be like, oh, that was live, that was recorded, that was live, that was recorded.
Right. Yeah, a lot of like some musicals tend to not do that, which people don't realize that you have to get the actual ambience of the sound to not make it sound like they're lip syncing. And if a musical is mixed well, they do that. That's why if you listen to Rocky Horror Picture Show, the music is completely different.
What Chris?
I like that was too.
I lied. That was Zac Efron's favorite on-screen kiss. Oh.
Zach's got a type. No, I do get like incredible Cinderella vibes from Michelle Williams right now, like with her like beautifully like pale yellow like blonde hair, and like, you know, she was wearing that dressing gown that was like super light blue and like flowy, and she's just, and this song breaks my heart.
This song grows on me because at first I didn't really like it, but after, you know, watching the movie like over and over and listening to the music, like it grows on me so much.
Yeah. I will be honest, I forgot about this song until we're watching it right now. But it's beautiful. Doesn't this get reprised, or is it the other one that gets reprised? I think this gets
reprises this.
Yeah, okay, this is reprised. Okay, yeah.
I just want Rebecca Ferguson's complexion. Like, she's just so stunningly beautiful. It's not okay.
No.
Going back to rewrite the stars really fast, Kristen says Zendaya actually was the one who had the idea to start it off a cappella, but the songwriters didn't know how to transition it from the dialogue to the song. That's why. Wow, okay. We will not believe you, Kristen, if you don't have anything to say about a song.
You don't have to make things up. We know you're smart.
Oh.
Yeah, the reason why
not there anymore.
Yeah, the reason why Kristen's not on tonight is because she has work to do. So
obviously,
right? Work.
Just didn't want to see our faces. It's fine.
It's all cool.
Oh, I love that part too, and it cuts.
Which part?
Swinging when she when she's swinging and then she falls,
and she drops the plate at the same time. Like it's just
And back then, we failed to mention it during the Never Enough sequences that back then they didn't have microphones, so they had to project their voice.
Well, they also
Yeah.
designed the theaters to like that's why the Hollywood Bowl is the Hollywood Bowl, because the back of it is domed and it's acoustically so that if you stand at a certain spot, you can whisper and be heard like half a mile away, because it's literally a physical, like, structural microphone and just amplifies everything. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay,
This
so
is
that means
how-
that sound is amazing there then,
Oh, yeah.
because then you get the
I also
amplification.
I also love the juxtaposition between like all of the good things that are going on for him on tour with Rebecca Ferguson's character. And like, you know, they showed the protesters throwing trash at the circus performers, and then it cuts to the theater and everybody's throwing roses at her, and it's just this beautiful, like, symbiotic one. It's got such great parallels.
Oh yeah, Christian says hello. I'm sorry. Sorry. She's like, I told you I spent a lot of time with this movie when Carl.
Girl, you don't have to apologize for loving something.
You have a right to be suspicious, Malcolm. Work sounds like.
Just so everybody knows, for those who have never been to Cincinnati, there is nothing as fancy as this hotel where they're staying in.
Yes.
And if it still exists,
Yeah,
it's like a museum. Like, there's nothing that fancy in Cincy.
Can my hair just flow like that? Like,
Right? Can it have
Okay.
just enough bounce at the roots right there?
Yeah.
Like, and then just be that effortless? Ooh,
I know.
gross.
It'd be great.
And then just, you know, get to kiss Hugh Jackman, because that sounds great.
we apologize, guys. There's not really much to discuss with this, but
No, we're just staring at the beauty that is Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson, because she is, I'm pretty sure, a vampire, and he is like just sexy older. Just he's getting more and more. He's getting better, and he's getting better looking the older he gets, which is
Like
obnoxious.
So it's basically like a wine.
Yeah. Oh, here's a really bad joke that goes with that I am not gonna say. Doesn't make it not true though.
Yeah.
His wife is like 13 years older than him and like a plus size girl, and she's a beautiful, just stunning makeup artist that like he had to convince her to go out with him when they met. Have you guys not heard this story?
No.
I know, like,
Oh my
I know
God.
I've never heard like how they met or anything.
I
like
can't
that.
remember what show or what movie set they were working on, but she was one of the makeup girls on something that he was working on, and he like turned into the literal emoji of smiley face with heart eyes and like pursued her. Like, she was like, no, like, you're an actor, you're so much younger than he's 13 years younger than her.
Oh wow.
And like he pursued her and wooed her, because fucking men used to do those things. And and she finally said yes, and then they went out, and like she fell in love with him like almost instantly. I'm like, of course you did. He's Hugh Jackman. He's beautiful and charming and wonderful.
Yeah.
And they're still together?
Still together. Yeah. No scandals to be heard of. And she's like gorgeous. Like, she is like this beautiful, just curvy, wonderful woman. Ugh, she's such a snake. Never trust a redhead.
Yeah.
Christian says this entire situation is super overblown in the movie. The real story, this is like a least dramatic thing about Bonham.
Yes, but this was this is as salacious as they were willing to go in order to appease Middle America.
None of the animal cruelty or
no electrocuting elephants.
In fact,
of course not.
In fact, I don't think I remember seeing any animals here.
No.
Not much, I knew.
There's like the elephant that, you know, at the very end.
I don't like this part either. It makes me so sad.
You know why it makes me so sad? Because it's still happening today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's so upsetting.
That's why it makes me sad too. It's like these things do happen now, and it's just,
it's like this story took place almost 100 years ago. Beautiful Hurricanrana, by the way. This story took place almost 100 years ago, and things haven't changed.
No.
And that is the most heartbreaking thing about this. It's just like people with this blind hate destroy something that somebody is trying to make to make people happy. And it's like, what? Why?
Right.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The actual real story, wasn't it like he like woke up and it like was all on fire? And
I think so.
Yeah. Damn. Are they sure that it wasn't Austin like it is in the movie?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I just remember.
It's so heartbreaking. But you know what? What happens after is really uplifting, though.
Well, yeah, you gotta like this is where Act 1 would end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except this is where Act 2. Well, it's the beginning of Act 3, actually.
Yeah, but should we make this into a stage play?
Oh yeah, and
this is the end of Act 1. Sorry, that's what I meant. Like the fire happens right before intermission. He runs in, the things blow up, and then curtain.
Yeah, I feel like this entire movie just feels like a really solid, like.
They can totally transition this to a stage play if they want.
Yes,
and just make the whole Act 2 the sequel, which I think they need to make a sequel to this.
No, I don't want them glorifying him anymore.
Yeah, I'm okay with it being like this. Like this was good.
Yeah.
Aren't they making a sequel anyway, though?
I
heard about that.
I mean, I know that at when this came out and it did as well as it did, I know that there was talks with putting like a sketch together. There's my friend Alex on the bottom left.
Oh, cool.
Of putting like, you know, an outline for a script together of like, just like, hey, just in case this keeps going super well and we end up winning Oscars, like, let's have this, you know, in the wings to show the CEOs and, you know, all that stuff.
Malcolm says, when I first saw this movie, I didn't know the true story about how terrible a guy bottom was.
Yeah, nope, not a lot of people did.
Nope,
or they forgot, or
just didn't know, and they went in, and it's like, yeah, that's not really how he was.
But apparently he didn't change his opinion about the movie. And Kristen says, my take on the movie is that it's bottom story, POV, and that
I can see it from his point of view. This is my story.
This is
like
how
I remembered it.
I don't
like 18 pairs of rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
See, this is their reprise.
Yeah.
Which you should not look that attractive with cuts on your face and like soot.
It's in there though.
No, not her, him.
Oh, him. Okay.
She's fine. She got cleaned up.
Again, this is all sung live, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
To get that emotion. It's just so difficult to film a period piece because you have to digitize everything.
Yeah.
Because there's no way around it anymore.
It's not like distracting, you know.
No. it looks like an oil painting kind of. It has that kind of quality to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, so do like all the wide shots of all of their sets. Like
that's a good thing. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. It puts you back into that era.
Yeah. I do like this interaction that he has with the critic.
Yeah. I love how snooty he is. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
But like he wipes away the dust and then puts the paper down on top of it. Like he doesn't just put the paper down to sit on it. He wipes the dirt away from where he's putting his paper down.
Yeah. He's like, I'll have to wipe it first and then I lay down because the paper
is too dirty for my paper.
Again, this movie just proves that like you don't have to have historical accuracy to have a good musical. Look at Pocahontas. I love Pocahontas. You guys like?
Yeah, you cannot make a musical version of the actual story of Pocahontas.
No. Do you guys like Pocahontas?
I do. Yeah. Well, I love the music.
I love the music.
I think
the story is fine.
Yeah, it's one of those like mid to low range on my list of Disney musicals. like story, not just because of the music, but like the story wise, like obviously Colors of the Wind was like my entire elementary school years. Like as soon as it came out, like that's what every girl sang at every talent show from then until eternity.
I love Just Around the River Band. That was my song.
And I'm partial to the villain songs too, and I think Savages is a very good even though it's a dark song with that subject matter. But back to another historically inaccurate musical. We're going to.
I mean, I like the way that they go between both of them.
Yeah.
I like how they think they're savages, and then vice versa. So.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I just would have loved for them to have drawn John Smith and Thomas to look like Mel Gibson and Christian Slater, because
Christian Bale,
my mind already does that. It makes the switch. So I'm like, can you just like save my brain some power and just like do it already?
Yeah.
And I love how the villain is voiced by Cogsworth.
Who still has one of the best jokes in all of Disney movies ever. Like,
well, I don't remember which one.
If it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
Oh, yeah.
That gets a chuckle out of every single person every time. And it's one of those jokes that, like, when you think about it, you're like, Baroque, Cogsworth, you silly clock. Like, it's just so funny.
Someone's asking for a time code.
Who's asking for a time code?
It's 1:22, hour and 22 minutes.
Yeah, we're on to the final song, basically. This movie went by quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to love about it and a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I love that he just walks down the bar like, fuck yeah.
Right?
Like, I'm going to sit on your hat and I'm going to look you eye to eye and I'm going to call you a douche because you're being an ass.
Dude. He's like, you abandoned us.
I love how, like, I know this is going to sound horrible, but I love how low and, like, sardonic his voice sounds. He's like, oh, you're just sitting here feeling sorry for yourself. Like,
Malcolm says all Disney's musicals have cleaned up what the true grim fairy tale such true story actually were, though.
Oh, yeah.
They do. Look at Hunchback.
Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
She gets raped, gives birth to twins, all while she's knocked out.
That's true.
That's true. Dark. Sleeping Beauty, or what was it, Snow White? I think the evil queen actually gets like chopped down by axes, like pickaxes and axes by the dwarves.
Yeah.
Cinderella, the stepsisters cut their feet off to slip into the shoe.
Yep. One of them cuts her toe off, and the other one cuts her heel off.
Yeah.
There needs to be like a video series about the differences between the fairy tale and the book of Disney.
I would love to dive into that with you. Oh my god,
that would be.
I think I have the Grimm's fairy tales here.
That would be a freaking awesome show, actually. Now, nobody steal that idea, please.
Copyright 2020.
I'm just kidding.
That would actually be a very interesting thing, but we would require a lot of reading.
I'm okay with that. Actually, the Grimm's fairy tales, like, they're not long reads. They're just super dark.
You just have to analyze what the difference between. Okay, guys, you are seeing a brainstorm session of a future show, possibly.
Yeah.
But we're going from now on.
This is the birth. Ugh.
And this is a jam. This is probably my favorite song. This is probably my favorite song in the film. On finales, and if they do a finale right, well, it's not technically a finale. They reprise Greatest Showman.
This is the one that they did of the live recording that got passed around when they were all in like doing the table read. This is the one that they were doing, not the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense because This Is Me was written on the way to like the pitch meeting to get it bought by studios.
But like
oh, go ahead.
But Hugh Jackman was supposed to be on vocal rest because I think he like had surgery or had nodes or something and was going to get them taken out. And so the doctors were like, don't sing for 2 more weeks. And he came in to do this and they're like, okay, and this is where this song goes. And he's like, no, let's do it. And so like they're like, are you sure? And he like sits down and starts playing the piano and then like steps aside and everybody else comes in. And it's just like that video just oof. Mainly because Jeremy Jordan's in it too. And Jeremy Jordan has Hall Pass. He's amazing.
I just love how they were able to document it.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of my favorite things about anything happening in this day and age is that there is going to be a record of everything. Like somebody's going to have, you know, like 10 years from now, someone's going to be like, oh, I found this cell phone for sale and like find like backstage like video of the rehearsals for this number or, you know, something stupid like that. Where's my friend out?
Kristen says that they literally you found him?
Yeah.
They literally made a historically accurate non-Disney one and it was boring called New World that came out in 2005. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look it up now.
So my friend Alex is the Asian male wearing a orange shirt on the right-hand side of the screen behind the albino.
Oh, wow.
I love the harmonies in this.
This is phenomenal. Were you able to get on set with this, did you say? Or...
Would I have been? Probably.
Okay. Did you know him at the time?
I did, yeah. I mean, I knew Alex since he was on Broadway and Newsy, so this was like, I think I worked out my second year of Beauty and the Beast, so like
04?
2012.
Oh, 12.
Maybe. But he was on, he since had gone on to compete in So You Think You Can Dance. He's been dating my friend at Disney Theatrical for like forever. They're like the cutest couple. Like it's not okay.
Oh.
Like they're that really beautiful gay couple that you're like, you're never gonna age and you're just gonna look this precious and wonderful for the rest of time. Okay, cool.
It's phenomenal.
Like a fairy tale.
Yes.
Hmm.
The gayest of fairy tales. I love them so much.
I've never heard of the film New World though. So.
I haven't either. I'm actually looking that up right now.
The music is so good. This part too.
It's just
weird. Oh yeah, where he wakes up and
yeah,
in the hospital.
Yeah, and the kiss. Yeah.
I love this part at the very end of the bar, like when everybody's in the bar and it's just like three of them singing in harmony, and it's just
right.
Oh.
With no music, just them. How are they doing that with their mouths?
I don't know, because I am tone deaf. Like I can hear it, but I can't sing it.
Right, I'm like, am I get? No, okay.
I can't, Kristen. I cannot find this movie.
I love how he, and you'll get this, Rachel, that he's the yellow-eyed demon.
That what?
He's the yellow-eyed demon from Supernatural.
Yes, I know. He came on. I was like,
"Oh,
it's Hazel."
Yeah.
I'm like, you play an asshole. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're really good at this.
I was like, oh, hey.
I've never watched Supernatural. I've watched Buffy though.
You should. If you like Buffy, you will like Supernatural. Yeah. It's just as like tongue-in-cheek and kind of weird and creepy and lore-filled.
Yeah. Does it have a musical episode too?
Actually, they do, and it's wonderful.
It does?
They do. It's called fan fiction because it is literally a love letter to the fans because they did it. It was season 10, episode 4, I think. Wow. And it's so beautiful, and it's like one of those super meta episodes that they have because, like, in their world, like, like they live in a world very similar to ours that has like demons and vampires and all sorts of like crazy supernatural things,
like Buffy.
Yeah, but like. Their job is to make sure that people don't know about it, but then also in that world, God exists and God writes books about supernatural, like about the brothers and everything they go through. So there's a fandom in their world for supernatural for the boys. It's very
meta.
It's very meta.
So
and so, what?
I said it's so good.
So good.
What's better, the Supernatural musical or the Buffy musical?
Ooh.
I think they're different.
Buffy, the whole episode is a musical, whereas in Supernatural, they go to find somebody who's missing and like try and figure out that mystery because the drama teacher is missing and the play that they were doing was a Supernatural, the musical.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like they walk in and they start singing like the opening number, and it's basically the story of their lives.
Oh.
About how like their mom burned to death on the ceiling, and then their dad raised them as demon hunters, and they're just standing there like, what just happened?
Yeah.
It's so good.
I love it when they do that too in the show.
And the boys know all the words to like the songs that they sing in that show.
It's perfect. They're perfect.
They are. Well, they're giant 5-year-olds.
That's true.
Giant.
Jensen has a really good voice too.
Yeah, he does.
Michael K says, "Is it bad that I want to hear a power metal cover of From Now On?"
I could see it, and I actually know that that one exists.
Yeah, there's power metal covers of a lot of the if there's a lullaby version of it, there's a power metal version of it.
But I want to say who does it because I know my friends in Ice Nine Kills do some amazing metal covers of like of songs. I know Apocalyptica usually does some great metal covers of songs.
Mm-hmm.
I do like them too. I'll have to.
Aww. Everything's burned down, but they're happy and shaking hands and going to reopen. We will rebuild.
And a 10.
Oh, Jonathan Young does a great metal cover of The Greatest Showman. He also looks the part. He looks like Korn 2.0.
Also, yes, guys, you can find the lullaby version of Greatest Showman on Spotify, as we were mentioning too. It's right there. So, and this is what's interesting about this reprise of Greatest Showman is that much of it isn't on the soundtrack. Like the last portion of it on piano is just cut.
Oh yeah,
it's actually my favorite part of it too.
I remember hearing this the first time and just crying because it just reminded me of Warped Tour, which sounds very weird. But
those are good times.
Warped Tour is a circus that packs up and travels every day.
Yeah.
We're basically carnies. We live out of suitcases. We barely shower. We smell a little funny. We're drunk most of the time. Like,
is it a good time?
It's every day is the best and worst day of your life.
That's great.
And like everybody, like people come out by I think our highest attended show one year was like 25 to 30,000 people. Ooh. Like it's huge, and people would come from all over, and you know it was it lasted so long that people were bringing their kids. I think one person was like the last year that it was out like doing the full tour, I went to the St. Louis show and I met a guy who was there with his like 5-year-old grandson, and he was like, I came the first year. I've been every year since. I brought my son, and this is my grandson's first show. And I was like, well, that means you're getting on stage with him. And I like I wasn't on the tour. I shouldn't have been able to escort them, but I knew all of the security guards because I was on tour for so long with them. So I was like, these guys need to be on stage. So I like escorted the kid on stage, and for like,
how fun.
I can't even remember who, because it was so hot and sticky that it just like erased my brain.
But I'm sure it's like such a wonderful memory for them. They probably talk about it now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I used to do that with a lot of the kids when I was on that tour. And like, I've kept in touch with a bunch of them. Like they've gone off to college and graduated and like started families. And like every now and then I'll get like a, hey, I was thinking about you the other day. How have you been? Like message from them on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, my babies.
Oh, elephant.
Did they ever film those concerts on Warp Tour? Or did you guys ever record anything?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of recording. There was actually a show called Warped Roadies on Fuse, and it would air because they would have Warped Wednesdays. So they would do like music videos from bands that were either on that year or had played Warped Tour before. And then they would do like every now and then they would do like live footage of like, you know, a band's song while we were live on Warped Tour. And they would like film a bunch of stuff, and then they ended up doing Warped Roadies, which is available, I believe, still on iTunes. Gross. Two beautiful people kissing. That's not okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just bitter and jealous. It's fine. But I love this. She looks out and finally sees her dad. Although she knew he was on tour, so why did she keep thinking that he was going to show up? I'm sorry.
I know, but you know, maybe he promised her. They just didn't show up, right?
Yeah. Oh no, they didn't show him being a deadbeat dad. Oh.
That would be me. I'd be the tree.
Kristen says the CGI lions always trip her up.
Yeah.
I'd be the best darn tree there ever was.
Yeah,
I was a tree in The Wizard of Oz. 6th grade, our play was The Wizard of Oz, and I was the Dorothy understudy. And so in order to understudy one of the leads, you still had to have a role in the show, but it had to be something that they could literally pull any kid in to do.
Yeah.
So I was one of the angry trees that threw apples at Dorothy.
Nice.
Oh,
when she was looking for the Tin Man, or before she found the Tin Man.
Was it the musical version, or was it just the
No, it was definitely a musical. I auditioned
with the ladybug, with whatever the jitterbug.
No, it wasn't stage musical. It was just like movie musical.
Oh, the movie musical.
So good. Sorry, we were talking through the end. He finally became a good dad and showed up for his daughter.
Yeah. So and that is The Greatest Showman. All right, guys. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Vanessa, for joining us tonight. Vanessa, what are your final thoughts on Greatest Showman, and what was your favorite song from the film?
Final thoughts. I think that this is a really fun, like caring movie. And like, I feel like if you're like in a mood that is like, if you're happy, 100%. If you are sad, if you want to become happy, like, I feel like you could just put this movie on and then you like feel better afterwards. You're like, you feel empowered. To watch it, and I love it. It's
such a great feel-good movie, honestly. Even though that the subject matter really shouldn't be feel-good, they successfully do it. I know this is fun. Rachel, what are your thoughts on Greatest Showman?
I want more movies like this movie.
Yeah,
that don't necessarily have to be based around terrible people. But I constantly have to educate people and be like, no, go look them up. But I love these big sweeping musicals that tell this like amazing story, and there's big sets and amazing costumes and the choreography and set work, and it's such a beautiful thing. I want more movies like this. I do agree with Vanessa that this is one of those movies that I think if you are happy, you can watch it, no problem. If you're sad and want to feel better, this is like a cup of chicken noodle soup and like a blanket, and like it's not aggressively like, woo, happier. It's like, shit sucks, but it's gonna be okay. And like, it's really warm, wonderful, like balm to your soul. And it's very sweet and lovely.
It's great. Yeah. It's just a phenomenal movie. Even though that the movie kind of is a little bit vanilla because it does attach one song after the other. It could have been a little bit more amped up with some more storytelling aspects. I think it doesn't mean it's a bad movie at all. I think it's paced really well. It's fun. It's very digestible. Vanessa, where can the good people find you online?
They can find us at Late to the Party on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust, all the social media stuff.
Totally. Rachel?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RM Silvestrini, which is right there. Tomorrow night, I have my weekly show of music, movies, and mayhem. My guest is going to be the queen of corruption, Shannon Barney. So it's going to be, I described it as two broads sitting down, having some drinks and chatting. And it's just going to be one of like, I think we may end up end up having to invite other people in because like it's just going to be so much fun, and I just kind of want to get like the broads of Schmodown together one night and just be like, yeah,
let's have a drink.
Yeah, so that's going to start at 6:30 tomorrow night. So come join me, and it's going to be fun. And that show is every Thursday. So follow and all that.
Perfect. Speaking of which, this is going to be, guys, the final musical watch along to coincide with Suddenly Soundtracks due to my availability coming up. So Suddenly Soundtracks will be moving to tonight, Wednesdays. So the last Suddenly Soundtracks broadcasting will be tomorrow night. You can watch it after her show. No, that's the wrong thumbnail. This one is The Greatest Showman with Brianne Chandler, John Roca, Patrick Campbell, Evan Taylor, and Aaliyah and Dan from All the Belts. You know them, the Nerd Pod, the phenomenal people. It's a broadcast from 2 years ago. We just did a giant discussion of The Greatest Showman track by track. So make sure to watch that rebroadcast on playback or live, whatever you so choose. From Rachel, from Vanessa, from myself, we say to you, keep rocking. And yeah, bada bing, bada boom.
Bye, guys.